The Brothers of Destruction are one of the WWE's most enduring duos, with The Undertaker retiring in 2020 after 33 years in the company, and Kane celebrating 26 years. This seemed like the perfect time to dive into their kayfabe backstory. While many might argue that their history is too convoluted to make sense, there actually is a loosely defined canonical narrative, just as over-the-top as you'd expect. Much of the story comes from the official graphic novel Undertaker, Rise of the Deadman, and WWE's book Journey into Darkness, The Unauthorized History of Kane, supplemented by iconic moments from WWE TV over the years. This includes some of the most memorable promos ever, like Paul Bearer's Maniac Preacher character from 1997. If you haven't seen those, they're worth revisiting. With all that groundwork laid, let's dive in. Kane and The Undertaker grew up surrounded by shadows and secrets. Raised by their parents in a family-owned funeral home, their childhood was anything but ordinary. The Undertaker, the elder of the two, took on the role of the protective yet challenging older brother. He believed that Kane needed to be tougher and stronger, so he'd set little tests to push him. One of these tests involved instructing Kane to place his hand over a flame, testing his endurance. Young Kane, desperate to earn his brother's respect, tried but struggled to keep his hand in the heat. But the desire to impress his older brother was so strong that Kane would secretly practice at night. But if you think this was dangerous, just wait. Things were about to get far worse. One night, The Undertaker caught Kane practicing this strange ritual. Furious, he yelled at him, waking up their parents in the process. Their parents insisted that the two brothers promise never to fight again. Reluctantly, they agreed. Then came that fateful night that would change their lives forever. A devastating fire broke out, burning the funeral home to the ground. Kane was lost in the flames, while The Undertaker barely made it out alive. Left alone, he was taken in by family friend and mortuary employee Paul Bearer, a man who would play a pivotal role in shaping The Undertaker's dark destiny. But was the fire truly an accident? Or was it the beginning of a horrifying secret? Fast forward to the early 1990s. Paul Bearer, now The Undertaker's manager, saw great potential in him. Bearer's sinister influence drove The Undertaker to conquer the WWE, turning him into an unstoppable force with an aura of mystery and fear. But, unknown to The Undertaker, Bearer was hiding a dark secret that would soon unravel. Bearer threatened to reveal the truth about the fire and Kane. As The Undertaker grew stronger, Bearer's control over him began to weaken. And when The Undertaker finally broke away, Bearer made his chilling revelation. Kane, The Undertaker's brother, was alive. The impact of this revelation was enormous. The Undertaker had long believed that he'd lost his only brother to that tragic fire. But Bearer explained that he'd rescued Kane and kept him hidden all these years, scarred and angry. Worse, Bearer claimed that he was actually Kane's father, the result of an affair with The Undertaker's mother. The truth came to life in one of the most iconic moments in WWE history. During the Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, a groundbreaking match encased in a steel structure with no escape, intended to settle bitter rivalries. The lights went out and the organ music began to play. The Undertaker looked on in pure fear. Kane was back, and he was seeking vengeance. From that moment on, a twisted game of cat and mouse ensued. Kane was obsessed with tormenting his brother, testing the limits of The Undertaker's promise to their parents never to fight him. Months passed, with Kane attacking The Undertaker relentlessly, while The Undertaker refused to fight back. Their feud would reach a breaking point at the Royal Rumble in 1998. In a brutal attack, Kane locked The Undertaker in a casket during his match against Shawn Michaels and set it ablaze as shocked fans looked on. The Undertaker was engulfed in flames, a terrifying moment that left viewers wondering if this truly marked the end of the dead man. But when the fire was put out and the casket opened, The Undertaker was gone. It was a masterful twist, building suspense and mystery around The Undertaker's fate. The question lingered, had The Undertaker survived? With renewed resolve, The Undertaker decided it was time to face his brother. They clashed in unforgettable battles, including a WrestleMania showdown at WrestleMania 14. The stakes were higher than ever. WrestleMania was known as WWE's grandest stage, where legends are born and rivalries are settled. After 3 tombstone piledrivers, The Undertaker finally secured victory, marking the first chapter in a saga that would last decades. They would go on to face each other in the first ever Inferno match at Unforgiven in 1998. In this fiery match, the ring was surrounded by flames, symbolizing the inferno that had scarred Kane and destroyed their family. It was a test of will, where the only way to win was to set your opponent on fire. After a brutal back and forth, The Undertaker won by forcing Kane's arm into the flames, cementing this rivalry as one of WWE's darkest and most memorable feuds. But the story didn't end there. The brothers' relationship was one of both hatred and loyalty. In the years that followed, they would reunite as the Brothers of Destruction, conquering WWE's tag team division and taking on everyone from The Rock and Mankind to Stone Cold Steve Austin. They captured the WWE Tag Team Championship, proving that when united, they were an unstoppable force. In the early 2000s, the two dominated the division, laying waste to anyone who dared to challenge them. Their victory over Edge and Christian, one of WWE's most successful teams, was a testament to their sheer power and resilience, and in an unforgettable match at Backlash 2001, they took on the two-man power trip of Stone Cold and Triple H, with all major championships on the line, displaying the kind of synergy and power that made them a fearsome duo. Yet, despite their brief alliances, old wounds would always resurface. In a shocking twist, The Undertaker eventually confessed that he was the one who had set the fire that scarred Kane all those years ago. He believed Kane was weak, unworthy of being his brother. With this revelation, the brothers were once again locked in a cycle of rivalry, betrayal, and vengeance. They clashed in countless battles, each more brutal than the last, solidifying their legendary status. Yet, at times, they found themselves reuniting against common foes. In 2010, Kane finally got his long-awaited revenge, defeating The Undertaker in a series of matches and even winning a Buried Alive match to close out their feud. The Buried Alive match, held at the Bragging Rights pay-per-view, was one of the most intense spectacles in WWE history. To win, one had to bury their opponent alive, a symbolic and literal end to their rivalry. With help from the Nexus, Kane managed to bury his brother, leaving fans to question if this was truly the end of The Undertaker. Over the years, they would both rise and fall, at times showing glimpses of humanity beneath their monstrous personas. They paid tribute to their manager Paul Bearer, defended each other from attacks, and even fought side by side against the Wyatt family and The Shield. In 2013, on Raw's 1000th episode, they stood together once more against a group of younger wrestlers attempting to make a name for themselves. And in one of their final acts as a team, they faced off against DX at Crown Jewel in 2018. This match in Saudi Arabia, which reunited them with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, was a surreal moment. Although their in-ring skills had aged, the spectacle was unmatched, a tribute to their enduring influence and the respect they commanded among fans and peers alike. After years of fighting, betrayal, and brotherhood, The Undertaker and Kane left a legacy unlike any other. Through pyromania, mental asylums, buried secrets, and countless unforgettable moments, the Brothers of Destruction proved that family bonds, even twisted ones, can never truly be broken.